Performance. If you have not followed his Triple H Horse Racing podcast, you're missing out. It's one of the best podcasts in the country.
Good afternoon and welcome to episode 23 of Weekend Warriors right here on the HHH Racing Podcast. I am your proud host, Howard Kravitz, along with contest players and co-hosts Noah Maher and Jackson Muniz. We are here, ladies and gentlemen, live 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Hope you've got a blanket on or a nice sweater or something warm if you are anywhere in the country except for where Jackson is, probably in the LA area, or maybe not even in deep South Florida. It's like 60 degrees in Miami. So welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining the show. We're here to cover mainly the $600 KDBC qualifier through races at Tampa Bay for our great friends at TWINSPIRES. Please make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. Notification bell on the top right. Smash that like button below the video player. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor, and you can follow us on X at HHH Racing Pod. Gentlemen, looks like we're going to be covering the last 3 races at Tampa, but as I bring you in, Noah, race 6 is about to start at Tampa. So as I let you guys go ahead and start talking about the day in the contest, I'll go ahead and bring up not only the audio, gentlemen. Thank you to Tampa Bay Downs. We're going to have full-blown video with Jason Beam on the call. Race 6 coming up here, guys, is going to be a main special weight event. Noah, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Trying to stay warm over here. I got my blanket over the side just in case it gets a little cold down here.
Yeah.
But Jackson, you have no room to talk. I mean, it's like 70 degrees out there. So
actually, it's about 82 today. So yeah,
it's been good. I know Jackson and I were hoping that we'd be at Oaklawn right now, maybe winning some contests over there, but we'll have to wait a week for that.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a bummer. I do have the sound off in case you guys are wondering if it's working. So it should. I'll turn the sound on in a minute. Jackson, how you doing today? I'm glad you're nice and toasty and it's in the 80s. You are playing in the contest, for full disclosure, along with yours truly. So Jackson and I are each. You have 2 entries or 1, Jackson?
Just 1 today. Just 1.
Okay, Jackson has 1. I have 2. We'll show the leaderboard after this race. Nothing crazy has happened yet, Jackson, in terms of big movements. It does look like. And again, I'll get to all the details of the contest in a moment. It looks like Jackson there'll be 3 seats for the KDBC.
3 seats, and I believe 4th place is going to get about $2,100. So that's not bad either. Obviously shooting for top 4. I think there's already about 20 people out, and given the leaderboard so far, it doesn't seem like it's going to take a crazy number to get into the top 3 today.
I would agree. It seems like a lot of people are waiting.
Yeah.
I wonder for what spot. I think a lot of people will be waiting, Jackson, for maybe similar spots. Well, let's get on. I'm going to turn the sound on, make sure it's good.
Now for today's
you guys hear that?
Start a late pick 4. That pool just gone over $100,000 in the late pick 4.
Quick thoughts, Jackson, on this main special. You got talented Klarovich and then
furlongs,
mainly 2 others, 6 and 10.
I've heard this one is pretty nice. So I don't think this field is very good, and I'm
5-2 on the 10.
I'm not all in here, but I'm making a decent size bet.
Interesting. I'm playing a minimum $30 bet here on the 10. I'm just hoping the 10 gets in the money.
Yeah.
The last race was actually good enough. There's not much in here. I just need the 10 to be in the money. Good luck with your 1 on the Klarovich. Interesting spot because obviously they could run at Gulfstream, but they're choosing not to, Noah. So it's an interesting spot for Klarovich here on the 1.
Yeah, and I know Ryan and Jackson did a show earlier in the week, and Jackson had some good stats.
Rian moving up to gate.
Chad had some firsters at Tampa, so he had some pretty good stats. I think it was Jackson, 40-something%, 50-something percent. So it's a pretty
11 for 19 over the past 5 years on the dirt at Tampa.
On the dirt, interesting. All right, here we go, guys. This is race 6 at Tampa Bay. Jason Beam,
Party of the Max
with the call.
Lucky Win Coco, the final one. Lucky Win Coco is in. They're all in.
Eventually, he'll make the call.
And the race is on. Lucky Win Coco away out wide. Princess Huxley down toward the inside, flashing some speed. Princess Vacoma is right there. Busker and down toward the fence is Current Yield. 5 of them vying for the early advantage. It's Busker, Princess Huxley, Current Yield. Those are the 3 that go 1, 2, 3 early on. Princess Fakoma going to sit just off them in the 4th spot. Lucky Win Coco is joined on the inside by Fidela. They're together in 6th and 7th. Length more then back to My Angel Marie. After that, N Rose. Sorokin stays down toward the inside. It's 2.5 more. Back to Elegant Charm. The early trailer, Party to the Max. 22.95 seconds for the opening quarter mile. Busker, Princess Huxley in a tough spot toward the inside. Current Yield down to their inside, trying to hold that rail spot. Then comes Princess Fakoma in the light blue and white sleeves. Lucky Win Coco continues a 4 or 5 wide sweep on the outside. Trying to get going from the back. Party of the Max is moving up, but it's going to be cast out 6 wide. Fidela, Elegant Charm just in behind. Also right there's My Angel Marie. It's wide open as they come around to the top of the stretch. Current Yield holding the rail position and cutting the corner. Princess Fakoma 2 deep. Lucky Win Coco far outside. Party of the Max. Final furlong time now. Current Yield, Princess Fakoma. These 2 try to go on with it. Lucky Win Coco. Party to the Max down the outside. Up the fence, My Angel Marie. Fidela, Sorokin's down the far outside, but is too late. Final 16th to go. Current Yield holding sway. Current Yield took the shortest way home and gets the win a length and a half. Sorokin got flying from the back to get up for a photo for second with Princess Fakoma.
Nice job, Jackson. I wouldn't say that was overly impressive, but you don't care as long as the horse crosses finish line first. Ooh, 120. Now it's supposed to be very windy there today. I haven't seen flags, so I don't really know if it's against them with them situation. Probably a better than looks effort, Jackson, based on the pace scenario and trip. It looks like 1-6-10. I'm very happy. I'm fine. I got my show money. You got your win money. We're off to a good start, my friend.
Yeah, off to a good start. And as you said, maybe not the best field you're ever going to see that she beat in here, but it did seem like she got the best of the other speeds in a race like that. What do you guys think in general about the wind? That's not really something I've considered too much, but is that supposed to help the speed? Is it supposed to help closers? Does it depend on which way it's blowing?
So let me talk about this. First of all, I don't know what the wind. I don't. It's supposed to be very windy there today. Right. I haven't seen flags, so I don't know which direction it's blowing. This is an absolute fact. This is not some kind of weird Howard weather thing or like this is absolute fact.
Oh, 100%.
No doubt. It definitely matters, especially at tracks where there are not a lot of houses and tall buildings and trees around them. This was something that happened in Arlington a lot, guys. I don't know if maybe not so much in California because most of the bigger tracks, of course, are surrounded by buildings and whatnot. It's not really wide open in the middle of nowhere. Same thing with Gulfstream. But at Arlington, which was in the suburbs, it's very simple science. When the wind is against you in the home stretch, so they're fighting the wind in the home stretch, it helps speed because think about where do the horses do best, right? So closers do best in the stretch. Well, they're doing best fighting the wind, right? So if there's a headwind in the stretch, in general, that'll favor speed. If there is a tailwind in the stretch, right, where closers not only are doing their best action, but they have the wind with them, in theory, well, not really in theory, closers actually do best when there's a tailwind in the stretch. This is actually a big phenomenon, Noah, in harness racing too, which I don't know you guys, neither one of you really play, but believe me, it matters. Anyway, I don't know what the wind situation is there today, but no matter what, was it Current Yield? Is that the new horse? Currently Yield? Yeah. 2-1. No, I guess the job done. Good price, Jackson. People like that horse.
Yeah, definitely. And I kind of wish I had just better to win. I actually bet a double. I bet $100 double into the 3 horse in the next race. It's paying not as much as I thought it would, but it's going to get me where I need to go. And it's also going to allow me to save some ammo for later. Cause as we talked about it seems like a tournament where I would be pretty happy having $200 going the last race and only needing, 5 or 6X and to hit it for a seat.
No doubt about it. I would agree with you. These are the standings before this race just finished. There are 57 plus entries. No, we talked about there's going to be 3 seats before this most recent race. And I got to figure, Noah, some people just cashed there in that race, just a guess. You see, I have 2 entries there. Start with 3. I've only been playing minimum so far. So I'm basically done what I want to do for the most part, except for one bet that I wish I hit that I didn't. But anyway, Nick Sievers, a name we see very familiar, guys, at the top. Again, before this last race went off, 9:45, Doug Otani, 7:05, Stephen Young, 4:21, Steve Crocker, 3:36, and there's plenty of people. There's Jackson in 7th, our good friend Brad Anderson, 8th. Edward D, 2 entries. In 9th, right there, Lawrence Bergen, 2 entries. Steven Zaire, 2 entries. Brad Anderson, his 2nd entry. There I am with my 2 entries. No, there's only 3 races left, but there's going to be plenty of movement going forward.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? And we might even see some movement, when we hit the refresh button the next time, just because that race we just watched was favorite over 3rd choice over 2nd choice. So, it seems like, there's a lot of good people that are playing in this. So, if somebody were to have that and there was some movement even going into these last couple of races, I wouldn't be surprised.
There you go, Noah. You want to talk about it is now refreshed.
Yeah, so it looks like David McNally, Chris Denny, and Todd Lane got themselves in good position. But
there's what David did, Noah. Do you want to talk about what he did there, if you can see it on the screen?
Yeah, so he actually had the exacta and the try. So, no matter what order it came in, he had the box. So good for David. Yeah. If I'm always pretty proud, especially in a maiden race where you don't know a ton about some of the horses that are running, if you're able to get those in an exacta or try, that's a great result.
Just take the top 3 horses, Jackson, and box them in a try. How hard is this game? I wouldn't personally recommend boxing exactas. That's a whole other conversation we can have during the show, because obviously if the lower of the 3 came in, you're not going to get paid. You can Dutch that, but maybe David didn't want to bother Dutching or is not familiar with Dutching. I'm probably being a little nitpicky in that situation, because they were all somewhat the same price or close. If one was even money, Jackson, and one of those 3 was like 5-1, I think you can make a bigger argument to Dutch instead of just box. But either way, congrats to David there for moving up almost 20 spots, Jackson, into 3rd, excuse me.
Yeah, and as these guys kind of said, he's now found himself in a spot where you're probably done until the last race. You don't need to do a whole lot else with the way this leaderboard is shaken up, because again, there was some more movement. We saw a few more people drop out after that most recent race, and a couple of big names as well. So David's probably good until the last race.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see. I'm obviously multitasking here as well, so you're going to have to bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, if I'm not looking at the screen. Chris Denny also made a nice move, Jackson. Let's see who did. He had the exacta. Nice job, Chris. Excellent job. Welcome everyone to watching the show. Please gather the friends around, whether you're a contest player or not, and learn about these races. Have some fun. Todd Lane, let's see what Todd did. Todd, let's see. He had doubles. Okay, so he hit the doubles with the 2 in the last race. Nice job, Todd. So like I said, I've only been playing minimums. I'm up to, one of mine is almost up to where I started with. That's fine. The other one is, $23 behind. Every dollar counts. So I'm not happy that I lost one of my bets with show action there, but that's the way it goes. Just to set the scene for everyone, we are going to play audio of Gulfstream as well, even though Gulfstream's not part of the contest, but our good friends at First Racing, we want to make sure we talk about Gulfstream as well. Guys, there's less than 2 minutes to race 7 at Gulfstream. It's 1 3/8 on the turf on a allowance race. Did either one of you guys look at that race or have any thoughts? I'll just leave it, the floor open there.
I did not look at this race. Okay. I did bet it. I bet the $10 won the 10, because I have 2 wins in the TWINSPIRES win ladder today. So I need to get to 5 to get to the top spot, and we got 6 races to do it. So come on, 10.
Without is a really interesting horse, Noah. I actually talked to our good friend Patrick Kunzel about it, because he did the show in the preview. And this horse Without, I'm not sure if he's 100% cranked up and ready. He's second choice, but this is a really interesting horse for Graham Motion, who worked, by the way, guys, with test score. And not only just worked with him, I thought it was even, if not even slightly better. So just on that alone, Noah, you think that number 10 Without is live. Sure enough, 5-2 here with about a minute's post.
Yeah, I know test score is not the greatest workhorse I've ever seen, but he won one of the better grade 1 races that we've seen as of recent, at least on the calendar. Maybe not the greatest rendition, but obviously it's better company than what Without's going to face. And just the fact that Johnny V bothers to ride for Graham Motion here on a horse that we don't know a lot about is probably a telltale sign.
Yeah, I would say so. Actually, I'll tell you, the board's a little more even than I thought. Durand, the number 4 for Chad and Zayas, I thought would be a heavier favorite, and is only 5-2. Really co-favorite Without. I'm probably stuffing myself in the locker in one of the first races here on the live show, but I'm completely against White Palomino, the other Chad. I've never liked him. I've never thought he was that good. I know he finished in some grade stakes last summer in New York, but he walked the dog in one of them. The other one just wasn't very high quality. I'm against the number 9, Noah. What say you about White Palomino, who gets Tyler, and the supposedly more fancy horse, Edgar Zayas, who doesn't ride much for Chad? Interesting.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was actually there that day when my White Palomino ran at Gulfstream, and I didn't like him going into the race, and he was awful. So there's really no reason for me to like him coming out of the race. And I feel like just because some of those graded stakes placings that you had mentioned is kind of why he's 9-2, and maybe the fact that Tyler shows up there is also part of that. But I don't know. I just probably pick one of the favorites, either 4 or 10. I just don't love him here.
I agree. We have comments on the bottom of the screen about the last race, Jackson. Slow time, that's always impressive, being pinned on the rail like that. For a first-time starter, that was probably better than it looks for sure. From Hockey 17 Horses, that's Mr. Salette, I believe, right, guys? It is very windy there. Chris Walsh is there and said it's windy. Well, if Chris Walsh said then it's windy. We know it is for sure. And it's pretty darn cold there as well. But, hey, it's not like what Noah and I have been experiencing, so they screw them. No, as far as I'm concerned. Just kidding, Tappa. We love you guys down there. This is from Mark Hoft 1535. I was about to say, Howard, I think wind affects harness horses more than thoroughbreds. It might, because they got the sulky, the carriage, that they have to carry. All right, guys, they're going to the gate at Gulfstream. Let's bring on sound.
To start the Rainbow Six today.
We're good.
Tropical Turf Pick 3 begins here as well. Bettors like 4, Durand under jockey Edgar Zayas, and Graham Motion trained without. John Velasquez rides there. 4 and 10.
All right.
Leaders.
We will show
Chad Brown trained White Palomino.
We'll play this race and get right back to Tampa, ladies and gentlemen. And we cannot show the video from Gulfstream, but we'll show the audio. Good luck to anyone who's playing race 7 at Gulfstream. By the way, the start of the Coast to Coast pick. No, it's not. It's the start of the Turf Pick 3 at Gulfstream. Here we go.
Stateside debut for Without. He's up. He's in. Ready for 11 furlongs on the turf.
They're going 3 turns. Don't cheer too loudly. So they go by the wire the first time.
And they're off. From the rail, Don't Splash the Pot away quickly and ridden for the early advantage. Gun Barrel City looks to take a toe. On the far outside, it's Without. In between horses, Durand. Away 5th is White Palomino. He's about 5 lengths off the lead. In front of Junction Road. Down at the rail goes Hall Monitor. The 2 at the back, Concord Green and Discreet Dancer. They move to the top of the stretch for the first occasion. Long shot, Don't Splash the Pot. And Jose Morelos off the lead by 2.5. Without his second in the green colors, Durand cuts the corner in 3rd. Gun Barrel City is 4th. He's a bit keen, but he's drafting along. White Palomino's on his outside. Then Hall Monitor and Junction Road. Back from there, Concord Green. He lingers second last. He's about 9 lengths off the lead. And the trailer is Discreet Dancer. The opening quarter was 24 and 2 as they make their way to the clubhouse turn. The leader, Don't Splash the Pot, isolated with a 5-length head start. Without his second, Durand is 3rd. At the rail, that's Gun Barrel City. On the outside of him and White Palomino. Then Junction Road and Hall Monitor. No change at all in the placings. Concord Green remains second last. And Discreet Dancers at the
Noah,
back.
top 2 choices again. Great trips here, right?
4. Legit fraction.
Yep.
By the long shot, Don't Splash the Pot. He's still 5 in front.
It's a moderate
Out is
pace.
under a light grip from Velasquez in second, and White Palomino is 3rd. Durand pocketed up for Zayas 4th in the green. Irad Ortiz Jr. works into the 2-path with Gun Barrel City, bracketed in by Junction Road. Then back to the outside Concord Green. That shuffles Hall Monitor back, and at the rail, Discreet Dancer. 3/4 and 15 flat. They start to quicken things up. The real race starts to unfold. The leader, Don't Splash the Pot by only 2. White Palomino moves on the outside of Without their 2nd and 3rd. Durand a patient 4th. Given the green light to launch a bid is Gun Barrel City, asked to quicken while 5th. At the rail, that's Discreet Dancer. Then it's back to Hall Monitor. Dropping away was Junction Road. They reach the top of the stretch. Don't Splash the Pot. He turns for home in front. White Palomino in the red cap in between horses Without. Far outside Gun Barrel City. Zayas finds room for Durand, and he comes on next. They're 1/8 of a mile from home. Durand got through at the rail. He takes the lead. Second now is Without. Running home from the back is Discreet Dancer. Yards to go, and Chad Brown has it won. Durand and Edgar Zayas a 1.5 length winner. Second Without. 3rd, Discreet Dancer. 2:14 and 3.
Nice ride by Zayas, guys, to come up the inside. I don't know if it was Johnny V on Without. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I don't know how he didn't see the 4 come up the inside. I suppose if you nitpick Jackson, you could have said Johnny V could have pressed the button a little bit earlier, but Duran was just the better animal. Nice effort by Without, off a long layoff. I think I've got a feeling we're going to see both these horses, maybe if they continue to improve in some stakes in New York this summer.
Yeah, potentially. The horse looked good. That was a really nice ride from Zayas, as you kind of alluded to. I mean, to get through on the inside at a really critical time in the race and be able to have the horse to hit the hole, and he sure did. I don't think Johnny B could have done anything differently. I think he was hoping the 1 would try to keep that 4 in, and when the 1 drifted out, that was kind of all she wrote.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Pretty standard effort there by the top 2. No one really made a run. I was pretty much correct. Our White Palomino, he ran fine. He's just, for a chit. Look, we all like to own a horse like that, but he's just okay, guys. Not every Chad is, a monster. Not every Euro is a monster. Like, people just need to understand. All right, let's get back to the Tampa, guys. Now, this is a big race, and I'm going to be making a bet here. I'm sure Jackson is going to be also. So at some point, guys, you're going to have to give me a minute to do some Dutching and etc. But let's look at the field. There's 3 races left here in the contest, and this is one of the 2 big stakes of the day. You see the field on the screen. This is the Tampa Bay Stakes. It's a grade 3, 175,000, mile 16th on the turf. The rails are all the way down. These are not live odds on the screen. Let me refresh, and there we go. There's the live odds on the screen right now. Discreet Dancer scratched. Right now, wow, I'm a little surprised here, guys. The favorite as of now is the number 7, Tom's Magic, for Stidham and Rafael Hernandez at 6-5. Quattro Centro 2-1. Win for the money is as cold as the weather in Lexington and Chicago right now on the board, 9-2. I haven't had a chance to look at the doubles, guys. No, your first reaction when you see the odds board right now.
If I was a fan of the 3 of the 6, I would like to lock in the odds right now, because I don't think the 7 is going to be 6-5 when they leave the gate, nor do I think the 7's really up to the standards of maybe the 3 and the 6. But I think the 3 and the 6 are 2 very classy animals. And I just kind of feel like there's no secret the 7's kind of getting bet just because he beat a horse by the name of Tescore last time. But I feel like regardless of that, he's really got to step up his game to kind of meet the level of the other 2.
He does, Jackson, but we've seen this before. We've seen younger horses improve. I will say right now, looking at the double, Quattro Centro, who was a ridiculous 5-2 morning line. I sent you guys something. I just have a little bugaboo with morning lines. I don't know who does the morning line at Tampa. I'm sure he or she is a wonderful person. It's not easy to do morning lines, guys. Clearly, I think Aragona and Nick Tamaro are 2 of the best. But when we saw this 5-2, Jackson, at least me, I think you also, and Noah, I mean, I felt like Randy Moss. Come on, man. I mean, there's no way this horse is going to be 5-2. We all knew it. In the double, Jackson, he is 6-1. Actually, sorry, a 5-1 or pays 6-10. The next double is Tom's Magic at almost 14. These odds are going to change dramatically. And when they change, everyone, please don't blame CAWs or all this nonsense. Although that's not nonsense, but people need to look at the doubles, Jackson. These odds are going to change.
Yeah, not even take it a step further and say, look at the pick 3s, because that's where you're going to really see the effects of the CAWs. And for this race in particular, they are the same. The 3 is just as big of a favorite in the pick 3s as he is in the double. I would expect them to change for exactly the reason Noah said. It's just, as of right now, there's just not a whole lot of money in the pool. It'll even out as we get closer to post time, but it looks like the 3 will be favored in this spot pretty comfortably. I'd guess around 7-5-ish by the time the gates open, and the 6 and 7 will both take their fair share of money as well.
I would think so. I'm just looking at the chat, bring some things up here. Okay. What is so appetizing about the 3 here, Jackson? I know you said you're going to play. I'm going to use the 3 for sure in this next race. I don't care what his odds are. I'm sure we feel similarly on why the 3 could be tough to beat here.
He's just supposed to be the lone speed in here, isn't he? I mean, I'm looking around at this field, and I guess the 5 could maybe challenge him early, or maybe the 6, but it doesn't seem like, based on pace figures, that those 2 are nearly as quick as he is. And I think his recent form is probably a little bit better than it looks on paper. I mean, he's been chasing Wolfie's Dynagos around. That horse is arguably one of the best turf horses in the country right now. And definitely the fastest early that you can look at for these turf routers, and he's just hasn't been able to get his preferred trip. He doesn't want to be chasing these horses. He doesn't want to be pressing the pace. He wants to be in front, and he's going to be in front in this race that's coming up. And, you can go back as far as 3-back when he ran the turf mile at Keeneland. I've talked to some buddies, and they all seem to believe, some people that are smarter than myself seem to believe that the inside was maybe not the best place to be on the Keeneland grass opening weekend. And this horse being in front certainly was on the inside the entire part of the race. Set a really fast pace, hung on till deep stretch, and just got a little tired late against some horses that are way, way better than what he's facing today. So I just feel like his recent form is better than it looks. If he goes back to those races early this summer, he's supposed to be really tough.
Is there anything we said no for a horse that used to have a lot of speed and maybe still has that speed, but just mentally they're like, I'm not getting the lead, I'm just going to quit. And maybe he's not as good as Jackson I think he is today, because his last two, I guess you could say, are regressing, but just he hasn't gotten the lead, and maybe he's getting a little discouraged, or you don't think mentally a horse even worries about that at this level?
I think there's a case to be made for that. And I like him too. But I think we wouldn't be doing our jobs adequately if we didn't, give other perspectives of things. And you could kind of play devil's advocate, where some of his better races, 2 of them are at Kentucky Downs, which we've talked about time and time again, that horses don't typically take an affinity to that turf course. And they were also with very good setups. So, he's probably going to be on the lead. You can maybe make a case that, if he has to come from off of it, he can. But I think his best style is definitely on the lead. And
just to add to that, at least for me, the appeal was that I kind of thought with his recent form, he wouldn't take nearly as much money as he's going to. I don't think I'm as excited to bet him at 7-5 as I was at 5-2.
I hear you. I'm curious to see what he's going to end up. It sure feels like it's going to be 7-5 or somewhere around there. Let's talk about win for the money. I've bet this horse a lot. I love this horse has had a really nice career, guys. Coming up on, in fact, he might pass the $1 million mark after this race. Most likely Will Jackson. Here's my negative. I know he's a 7-year-old, and people are going to come on and I'll say, what about Skippy Longstocking? Okay, I get it. Younger horses are just better in general. They could have gone to the Pegasus. Cassie said they skipped the race on purpose or didn't accept the invite because this was a better spot. We know this is a better spot. I think that was a smart move. His last race, I saw him like in the line, like he had trouble. He had no trouble. He angled out perfectly. He just flat out got beat with a perfect trip. He can win. I don't love him in this spot, especially on the win end at the price. But I wouldn't be surprised if he wins. It's just not for me today.
Well, and I also feel like from a trip perspective, doesn't he kind of have to go press or try to at least put some pressure on the 3? And if he doesn't, if he does that, it's going to soften him up late, theoretically. And if he doesn't, isn't the 3 just loose on the front end and gets everything his own way? I just feel like he's kind of in a tough situation.
I agree.
Unless someone else unexpected goes with the 3.
I think they're really hoping that Cipriano Gil sends would be ideal, and then the 6 could like sit, not in the 3 path, but just sit off. I don't know if he's got that kind of speed anymore, though, Jackson.
That's fair.
Even if he wants to press, I'm not sure he can do that. Noah, ideally, if you were the owners here of Live Oak, in Sunny Leon, would you tell him to make Quattro Central work a little bit, but that's going to take away your effort late, possibly?
I would probably try to be as close as possible. I know he hasn't shown kind of that speed that we have seen from him maybe earlier in his career, but I think if there's any chance that he's going to run the 3 down, it's that. We talked about that race at Gulfstream, and you were actually there live, Howard, where going into the race, he was just like one of those horses that obviously you respect very highly, but just almost a defensive A in a spot like that. So the fact that he wasn't able to kind of get the job done in that race, I think you really got to try to put yourself in a good spot and not be too far away from Quattrocento.
I would agree. Right now, Tom's Magic drifting a little 8-5, like we said. Quattrocento 2-1, win the money for 3-1. So now the odds are starting to change. I'm gonna let you guys talk about Tom's Magic, and then I got to do some Dutching. I'll stay on screen, but I'll let you guys do most of the talking. This is a horse that originally I sort of dismissed. He lost to Salamis or Salami, I think. You guys was that Kyle called him that in the Hollywood Derby. We know what test score can do. I have mad respect for Michael Stidham. This horse is way over bet right now in the win end. But if he improves and contends for the lead or runs a big race here, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I'll let you guys take it from there, and then we'll talk about anyone else in the race.
I know Jackson, was that a race that we talked about on PHP? I feel like it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think we were really huge fans of him going into that race. And I thought he ran fine. I mean, maybe Solomus is a little bit better than he is, but it's not like he, didn't get a great trip or got a, not so good ride from Juan Hernandez that day, which was, over towards another horse in that race. But I find it a little weird that Stidham's had him at Fairgrounds for all this time, and then he decides to go to Tampa, which, can you just ridden in your, backyard at that point? It's a little interesting that he goes to Tampa, and it's a place, I think I looked it up. I think he's had about 40 or 41 runners at Tampa over the last 5 years. So it's not like he really brings a whole lot, and it's not like he's had a ton of success either. So I don't know. I just couldn't get a good read on him.
Yeah, look, if you're just looking at his speed figures, he's way too slow, right? But I think you're hoping that he takes a similar step forward to Test Score did last week. I also don't think he needs to improve nearly as much as Test Score did. I think if he's able to run a 90 here, isn't that probably going to put him pretty close into the mix?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the time form number for the Hollywood Derby was a decent amount higher too. So maybe the buyer's just a little light, and that's not impossible given what we saw from Test Score last week. Now, again, Test Score did have a lot of trouble in there, and maybe that's the reason why he just didn't run as fast. It's interesting he's taking this much money. I am a little surprised about that.
Yeah, so they gave a 114 for the Hollywood Derby for Thomas Magic. I'm just looking at some of the others.
That's about 10 points higher. Interesting.
Yeah, Win for the Money got a 120, and some of his better races are low 120s. And then Quattrocento, his last couple where he hasn't gotten the lead are still in the 120s, and then the ones that he has gotten the lead are kind of high 120s. He's even got a 132 for that Keeneland race, so obviously they upgraded that a little bit.
Yeah.
Did you give a look at all to Simulate on the inside?
Yeah, that was the other one that I wanted to talk about. I have one more bet to make, guys, and I'll rejoin you here. I'll give you my opinion on this horse after you guys talk. He is, what are his odds right now? This is just the PPs.
He is 5-1.
Interesting. For Centeno and Mott. Go ahead, guys, and then I'll rejoin you here in a minute.
What do you think, Jackson?
I think he's too slow. I think he needs a complete pace meltdown, and I don't think he's going to get that.
Yeah, the weird thing with him was his last couple races, he's just been super washy. I don't know if that's just been as of recent, but I remember his race at Saratoga where he was very impressive and won at almost 17-1. He was not like that at all. So I wonder if with the weather that they're kind of getting down there, it's a little bit cooler in the air. Maybe that won't, cause him to wash up a little bit more. I also thought the blinkers were interesting because it kind of seemed like Irad was kind of instructed to put a little more speed in him last time. And I wonder if coming from off of it is a little bit better. But the fact that they put the blinkers on, I would think they might try to replicate kind of that pocket trip that they kind of got last time. But even then, he was a little disappointing. Now I know Layabouts come back and made that race a little bit better, coming back and winning the McKnight or the Christophe Clement, one of those marathon races on Pegasus Day. But it was just another one where he was a little slow, but I feel like we could kind of maybe poke some holes in some of the other favorites. So, if he won, I don't think I'd be overly shocked.
Yeah. To get back to the tournament, it feels like this is a race where a lot of people are going to make some bets because it's the smallest field left. It seems like you can probably narrow it down to 3 or 4 horses. I expect a lot of movement here. Okay, let me ask you this. I need to make a minimum here, Noah. And
let me go back. Sorry, let me just go. There you go. Go ahead.
You guys prefer? Should I bet the 6 or should I bet the 7?
Oh boy.
What's the goal here?
I'm already live to about 600 to the 3. So I just need a minimum double into the next race. And I don't want to bet it on the 3 because I'm already live to the 3 for $30. That doesn't do a whole lot for me. So I might as well try to get alive to a big double in the next race where I'm trying to beat the favorite.
Yeah.
So I'm leaning on the 7 right now, just for the reason we talked about that. I think the 6 is just not going to get a great trip in here. But again, I'm very much hoping the 3 wins, as I think the guy above you is thinking the same thing.
Seems like it could, for the 6, it could be kind of all or nothing, right? Whereas the 7's just kind of lay back, make one run, and get up for 3rd, right?
Well, I feel like you could say the same thing about the 3. I mean, either the 3's recent form has been bad because he hasn't had the right trip, or it's been bad because he's done. I mean, that's not out of the question too.
Yeah.
Guys, let me talk about Simulate a little bit. I think he's a little more alive than you guys think. And again, like 10, 15 years ago, I wouldn't have said that because you look at the PPs, like this horse can't win. He's too slow. He is slower. There's no doubt about it. But that last race, and we're not going to show the replay, that was against Layabout, who came back and won the McKnight guys with a 93 and improved. And if you watch the replay of the last race, there's no doubt Simulate was ready to make a move. And Layabout, I think there was actually an inquiry that stayed up, but Layabout did come over and Simulate absolutely had to check, guys, and wait. And I think he had more run. So anyway, in general, I very much like Quattro Centro. If he does not win, guys, I'm out of the tournament. I have many different bets with Quattro Centro. I'm all in on the 3. Final thoughts, guys, as they enter the gate.
Go 3.
Do you have a program?
You do
I
one?
don't. We don't want to use. Noah's program hasn't been very good though for us. So
No.
I'm just praying. I think Jackson. I think
for the money. Tom's Magic.
if Quattro Centro has to sit a little bit, like if the 5 is gung ho, I think he could sit and go by. I think.
Tom's Magic.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see Julian. Julian, don't mess around today.
Rodriguez.
Just go. Good luck to everyone in the contest. Big for me and Jackson.
Kid
Jackson,
coming
only the 3 for you.
And going in.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
And the race is on in the Tampa Bay Stakes. Tom's Magic came away a little awkwardly. Quattro Centro came away beautifully and cruises right out to the front. Spellcast away in good order. Win for the money now coming up to join the front ranks with Britton Kitten and Tom's Magic between runners as they bend into the stretch for the first time in the Tampa Bay. It's Quattro Centro, an easy leader here. Julian.
We've talked about this. Open them up a little bit, right, Jackson?
Does that say 3 to 5?
Oh my Lord! Wow, did he get pounded late 3 to 5? Whoa!
Really good and a little bit tight there toward the inside. And Simulate is the early trailer with 6 furlongs left to go. It's Quattro Centro's lead. 23.94.
Zero excuses, Jackson.
Their way to the back
Zero.
stretch.
Yeah, I would have liked him to open up a little bit more, but that's fine.
I agree with that.
Who stocks that one in second? Spellcast back a length and a half in third. Tom's Magic now 4th. Simulate makes a little bit of an early bid. Goes by a couple at the back. Those are Britton's Kitten and innately good. Just over a half mile left to run. Quattro Centro took all the late money down to 3 to 5 through a 48.70 second opening half mile time. Win for the money. Just in behind 3/4 of a length back in the second spot. Spellcast
his mouth is wide open. The horse. Just go on with him,
Julian. Amongst horses
don't
being
mess
kept
around
in right now by Simulate, who's going to be 3 or 4 deep as they run to that turn. Length and a half more to Britton's Kitten and innately good. They're only separated by 5 lengths as they wind around that turn. They got to come catch Quattro Centro though. Quattro Centro and Julian Leperoux to the top of the lane. Now a length and a half
open him up
of Win for the money in the second spot. Simulate loops
get the
up
6
3.
out of here too.
Tom's Magic in behind that. Quattro Centro coming to the 8th poles, kicked away 3.5 lengths now to Win for the money.
Get the 7 up
Magic
for second.
Down the outside, starting to rev the engine. Britton's Kitten's running on late down the far outside. Quattro Centro gave him no chance today.
Get the
in
7
Tampa
up.
Bay walked around an easy winner here by 4.5 in the end. Tom's Magic up for second with Win for the money third. Britton's Kitten fourth.
There you go.
Nice.
That is extremely good for me. 3, 7, 6, Quattro Centro. Jackson, this is the thing. Now, I didn't think he'd be 3 to 5. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and lie to people. But if people thought you were getting like 8 to 5 or even maybe 7 to 5, you weren't. Look at the doubles. And based on the 3 to 5, that's either major ADW push or major contest push. I have a feeling it's the former, not the latter, Jackson.
Well, what was he going into the gate? I didn't.
I don't. Was it even, Noah?
No, I think he was 2 to 1 when they first
Which
started.
is
okay.
So what happens is when you he was so clearly going to be much lower than that, right? And there's not just one CAW team. There's 10. There's 15 of them.
Exactly.
And when they all see that big of an overlay, they're all betting it.
Yeah.
And then they all end up over betting it, and that's how he ended up being 3 to 5 instead of the 6 to 5 or 7 to 5 that we kind of thought he would be.
The exactas changed a ton.
Yeah.
A ton. The 6,
3,
and
7, 6, 8, and 1. Quattro Centro, your 3 to 5 favorite.
Okay, I'll turn the sound off and leave this on. I would say it the other way, but I can't stand it
And
anymore.
I know you
The
want
7 and the 6 were both the same exacta payouts. You know what, guys? They were at 3 to 1. That's not great, but you know they paid 4. They paid 4 for $1 and change. The 1 was 13. So I'll say what I did, and Jackson, you can say what you did.
Yep.
Because the numbers went down, I'm not going to be in first or anything. But I like where I'm at right now. I'll just leave it at that. Let me just look at the doubles real quick while I'm talking here. Okay. So I did all in on both entries, guys. On one entry, I did, and people feel free in the chat to comment, not because I actually hit, because that's beside the point. It's the structure that I want people to comment on if you like that. I went all in on one entry, guys. Dutch exactas 3 with 1-7, toss the 6. And then on the other entry, I actually did a 3-6 on the side a little bit. And on the other entry, I went all in. Actually, I don't want to say in doubles that I'm alive to in the next race, with a backup also on the side. But I had to have 3. I had to have the 3 to win. So the 3 was very good, guys. I don't know if that's like a blow you away out. He did what you're supposed to, Jackson. I mean, Julian rated him. I would have liked to see him use him a little bit earlier. I think the main thing that was good for you and I that we talked about, I don't want to speak for you, Jackson, but I feel you the same way, and I hinted at it. I just didn't like win for the money here at all, not even a little bit.
Yeah, agree.
And he got a perfect trip, by the way, too.
Yeah, and he did. He also ended up in that spot that we talked about. It's not easy to win stalking on the outside on the grass, and I don't care how slow you go. It's just so much different than the dirt. On the dirt, that's a perfect trip. The grass, not so much. And you might be right. He just might be done at this point because the 7 had a little bit of trouble on the turn and still was able to get by him late.
There were some thank you, Mike Saletta. Appreciate it. I'm sure I'm not the only one that hit there. That's good. Let's see what Mike said here. Assuming you got close to the number you were shooting for, minus late drop. I'm a little below where I want to be, but I'm alive. What I wanted to do, and I'd love to hear your guys' opinion. Well, let's just finish talking about the race. Noah, what do you do with Quattrocentro? I mean, he's not a grade 1 animal. He's pretty damn good. I think I would probably send him down to New Orleans for the Munez, which is in March on Louisiana Derby Day. What am I missing?
That's the race named after Jackson.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. I like the Jackson Stakes. It's been a long week, guys. That's probably what I would do, Noah. I suppose. I mean, if you want to go like nutso, I suppose. Well, you can't Dubai. Then he's not going to be invited there. He's not good enough to go there. You could wait till the big turf, stakes, the Churchill Downs Turf Classic on Derby Day. I don't know if they want to wait that long. You could stretch him out and go like in the Pan American at like Gulfstream, which is like 1.5 miles, where he'd be as loose as he wants to be. I mean, I don't know. He's a really nice horse. He's just not grade 1 level.
Yeah, it kind of seems like the options are endless, but I think what you mentioned, that big turf race on the Derby card is probably a good spot. I have to imagine that they'd be pointing to that. It's just some races.
He was in there last year, right?
I don't think he was.
I actually thought no.
I think.
When did he get really good? Wasn't it like starting at that race? He's starting to get really good. I could be wrong. Let me see.
I think he was winning races, but I don't think he was graded stakes though. I think he kind of went into the graded stakes ranks right after he got that win at Kentucky Downs.
I would wait for. Well, actually, the Kilor's not a grade 1 anymore, is it? Then the Shoemaker. The Shoemaker seems like a good spot because there's not much out in California right now. He is
interesting.
He's not a gelding, so if they can find an easier grade 1 for him, I feel like that makes a lot of sense. And his speed is going to play really well up at San Anita.
That's actually really interesting.
Goal, but yeah.
That he might face more early speed out there though, but not quality outside speed.
Sure.
He had to face the mighty Cabo Spirit. So I don't know, guys. That's actually an interesting spot. I thought Tom's Magic, guys. First of all, I thought he might be a little bit closer. He didn't break great. He did go by win for the Magic. It was really the only one that was closing late. I'd say that was an okay performance. Maybe they're a little disappointed by it. Your thoughts on Tom's Magic, Noah, on this race and going forward?
I thought he ran well. I thought it was a good stepping stone to some of the bigger races as he kind of continues his 4-year-old career. And Jackson made a good point. I thought he kind of got stopped around the far turn. And the fact that he was able to still get to the 6, I thought it was a pretty good effort. But it kind of seems like with the setup that Quattrocento got, he was going to be second best all along.
Here we go, guys. This is updated right now. Jackson, nice job, Jackson. Jackson is in 3rd with 828. You hit that. What'd you hit there? A double.
Yep.
For $100. But like you said, very nice job, my friend. Very good. Up to 2nd. I am in 5th with 710. There's the exacta that I hit there for 169. So I am now in 5th. Look who's breathing on me, guys. Brad Anderson. I also am alive in doubles, though, with this entry. I'd rather not say, to be very honest, right now. It's just things are too tight and whatever. But anyway, I'm alive in doubles. I mean, Jackson, let's be honest. This is going to come down to the last race, no matter what. There's 2 races left.
Right. And especially if there's going to be a big favorite in this next race. If that horse wins, it's definitely going to change some things. And there's still a lot of people as you go through the leaderboard that have 2 entries, and it seems like a few of them may have played doubles based on their missing bets that we can't see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. And actually, let me just look here. Okay, I just had to look at something there. I might have actually made a mistake, but I'm not going to say anything right now about it. But there are a lot of people, yes, with 2 entries, exactly, that that can fire again. Let me go ahead and I got to look up something, guys. I might have made a little bit of
Howard, while you do that, I have a question for you. At any point when you were evaluating the race that we just watched, did you think about, or did it come across your mind thinking about sacrificing one for the other and playing exactas, just trying to beat the 6?
That's what I was talking about. Let me just set up this next race with sound. No, this is the Swale coming up. We got Class President versus who's the 6, guys? Sorry,
Something Dude, right?
It's Safi. I know that.
Yeah, sorry, but
Solitude Dude.
Solitude Dude is 1-2. Whoa. Class President is 3-1. Let me bring up the sound. We can answer that question, Noah, after this race. Here's the Swale with Pete Aiello, the call at Gulfstream. Good luck, everyone. Race 8 at Gulfstream.
It's a field at 7 furlongs for $175,000. Solitude Dude is heavily backed at 1-2.
Hey guys, give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
Yep.
Into line goes Class President. Langvad is ready. Epic Summer, the next one to walk up. 3 away from a start. Hammond, DiCachete. From the outside, Solitude Dude.
The start of the pick 5, Howard, who you need?
Hammond.
I just chalked out.
I
nothing creative. I think the 6 gets loose and wins, but Class President is very capable. If anyone else wins, I'd be shocked, to be honest.
Solitude.
I have nothing creative here at all. What I'm trying to do is see if I F up something, Noah, to the extent that I'm not going to be able to play enough minimums on one of my entries, which would really suck.
Dude to the outside.
But, which I've never done before, but I might have F'd up here.
Happens to the best of us. It's happened to me.
Racing in the Swale Stakes. Excellent start for Solitude Dude. He broke beautifully and is already a length and a half in front. Langvad is now second. Class President moves out the rail. Splitting horses Epic Summer out the center, DiCachete. And after a terrible start, the trailer is Hammond. Down the backstretch they go. It was a very easy opening furlong for the 1-5 favorite Solitude Dude. He struts his speed in the Swale with a length to work with. Epic Summer is now racing from second. Out the center, DiCachete now third. At the inside, it's Class President who follows along in fourth. In between horses is Langvad, and the trailer is Hammond. They swing to the far turn. The opening quarter was walking for this level, 23-1.
Wow.
Solitude Dude out for a stroll so far. From second, it's Epic Summer. At the rail, Class President will make his presence felt with an inside run. On the far outside, it's Hammond, then DiCachete. Langvad tamely drops away. They run past the 5/16. Irad Ortiz Jr. still sitting pretty on Solitude Dude. Lets out just half a notch and still has the lead with a quarter of a mile left to go. Inside Class President, outside Hammond, back to fourth Epic Summer. Off the turn in the stretch drive, and Irad Ortiz Jr. says, Solitude Dude, it's time to put it away. And he just did. He's now 3 in front with no dangers. This is a very talented son of Yalpon. It's Solitude Dude, a decisive winner of the Swale. Class President second, Hammond ran third, DiCachete fourth, 123-2.
There's another case. Look, right? maybe it is better just to go slow and walk the dog, Jackson, let everyone, and then just say bye and see ya. This is a very good horse, guys. He's getting better and better. I know that was an easy lead, Noah. We sort of questioned why Class President, was sort of was cutting back in distance. Class President does not look like a sprinter. I think he's a very nice horse, Noah, but I think Todd needs to send him long next time.
Yeah, today was just one of those situations where I think both horses are very nice horses, but today was the day that you would want the 6, and maybe down the line and maybe with some more ground, the 1 would be the horse that maybe you would prefer.
I would agree. And I realized that actually everything's going to be okay because
Oh,
for
Charlie.
the contest I got, and it's okay because I know what I did. I'm fine because if I didn't hit, I wouldn't have had money anyway. So no one really knows exactly what I'm talking about or cares really, but I should be fine here in terms of what we're doing here next. I'm just double checking stuff here. Okay. Let's talk about 1 to 5. Oof. On Solitude Dude. Now that did start, I believe, something, did it not?
Pick
Let's
5.
see.
Right?
That was the start of late pick 5, right? The next race at Gulfstream is the start of the coast to coast, and it's also the second leg of the turf pick 3, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's get back to Tampa, guys, because we have what looks like a 2-horse race here coming up. Let me go ahead and bring up the PPs, gentlemen. I'll let you talk a little bit here. It's an allowance race. That is what happened here. Okay, hold on a second. I got to switch something, guys. Let me do all. It's an allowance race. It's basically, though, a 2-horse field. Jackson at least looks that way on paper. These kind of days, you wouldn't necessarily expect a Rapoli monster to be in this race. But sure enough, a horse that was, the next coming of Flightline, they thought in his debut. I mean, this horse was, the buzz on this horse and the bet on this horse was completely ridiculous. Before we do that, look who's here, Noah and Jackson. Charlie Freeman's here. What's up, Charlie? Sup, lil bro. That's for Jackson. Is that right, Noah? I'm assuming.
I'm pretty sure that's me, but
Quattro Centro 3-5 hurt me though. I thought I got 9. Okay, lecture time for Charlie. Go ahead, Jackson. He thought he was getting 9 to 5.
Yeah, you weren't getting 9 to 5. I won't blame you for thinking you're gonna get even money 6 to 5, but 3 to 5 was kind of ridiculous.
That's how rude you're gonna be with Charlie. You could be a little more harsh.
I haven't seen the guy in like a year. I feel bad.
Okay, go ahead, bro. You can talk to him. It's the whole world's listening, so feel free to be as nice or as harsh as you want, Noah.
Yeah, come on, low bro. You were never getting 9 to 5. I mean, Lone Speed. I don't know what you were expecting, but it wasn't going to be 9 to 5. That's for sure.
Well, it's not really the Lone Speed thing. It's just the doubles. We actually, if Charlie was listening earlier, we said this horse is going to be like minimum like 6 to 5 or somewhere around there.
But he wasn't, and that's his problem.
I know, and we love you, Charlie. We're just kidding. But anyway, all right, guys. Here's the field. I'll let you guys talk. They're going 7, field of 11. Right now, Disruptor, even money, Little Thunder, 5 to 1. Go ahead, guys.
Jackson?
Go ahead,
I'll let you go.
Okay.
I don't know what to do with this race, if I'm being honest, because Disruptor has been a tough horse to, figure out based on what he's done so far. As Howard, you kind of said, there was all this hype around him on, I believe it was Pegasus Day last year, and he was the next big thing. He couldn't lose. He was bet down to 1 or 2, and he ran fine. He ran third in there. It wasn't what we were expecting, obviously. Then he came back, and we saw the version of him that we had heard about. He ran really well, got a big number. Now, he also did it on a pretty soft trip that day. But, he was the hype horse. They came back, threw him in the Florida Derby, took a ton of money again, and he was pretty bad. Hasn't been seen since. And now he shows up here. What do you do with him here? He's working really well, but his main rival is also very, very fast and drawn directly outside of him. And I cannot envision a scenario where the plan for Little Thunder is to not put as much pressure as possible on Disruptor. Now, maybe those two are just way better than everyone else, and they turn this into their own little match race, but I'm not going to be surprised if they just go too fast and it can set up for someone from off the pace.
Yeah, completely agree. And this is one of those situations why I asked Howard that question about, just playing exactus on a more, stronger opinion, just because this is just a race I have no interest in betting. I mean, a horse that you talked about, Disruptor, who we haven't seen for a long time. And he had all this hype, like you said. Just the fact that they bring him into a spot like this, just a low-level allowance race at Tampa, just on I know obviously they got some good races at Tampa, but just it seems like there are some other spots to go, like at Gulfstream or maybe some bigger spots. And just the fact that he's here, it just, I don't know. It's just, I get weird vibes. And the other fact is, his main rival, like you said, the 10, has the same style. So if the 10 had a little bit of a different style where he would like to come off of it, or maybe things would heat up and he would, come and make that one run from deep out of the pack, maybe I'd have a little more confidence in him. Now, his race, I also have no idea what to do with, because the time form came back, pretty good. Like the buyer was correct, but the horse that ran second had kind of already established some, mid 50 to 60s form. And then he popped up 20 buyer points. So that's just another
30.
race. 30.
Almost 30, sorry.
So that's just another race that I just have no idea what to do with. And then outside of those two, there's just a lot of horses that I don't trust. So it's just one of those races. You don't have to play every race. This is just one that I'm completely skipping.
Yeah, this is weird. Now, you've got to believe, Jackson, the contest. If people are playing this race, it's all surrounding these two horses. Disruptor's been working fine, better than fine, well, but this is a weird spot. Little Thunder was really good. I mean, you can't doubt anything in his debut. He's already 4. He's a Florida bred, but he went 7, and he did it well last time. I thought at the end of the Rehan, if you watch it, Jackson, I'm not going to say he was struggling, but I think the other horse was getting to him a little bit, Noah. But that was his first race. What I really like here, Jackson, if you like Little Thunder, is the spacing. So he hasn't run in over a month. Tim Ham was an excellent trainer, 24%. Gave the horse about 2.5 weeks there to recover. Worked him well, and then another nice maintenance sprees. I think this horse has been campaigned so far very well here. If he beats the 9, I wouldn't be shocked at all. I'm guessing a lot of people are using the 9 more because of the name and the 92 buyer. But I got to tell you, I don't know how much better the 9 is than the 10 today. We're going to find out.
Yeah, and my issue with the 10 is, if you go back to that last race that he won, the horse that was second in there had run 5 or 6 times before that race, and the highest buyer he'd ever got was like a 55 or something.
Yeah, 65. Here it is. That's what Noah just said. In maiden 45s.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe it was the barn switch. I'm sorry, no, I was trying to do some math over here.
It's all good.
You're good.
That was what I didn't know what to do with that. So I'd be looking at. I'm playing doubles in this race, trying to beat these two. I'm gonna pick a couple bombs. I'm gonna play the 6 and the 7 into the 5 the next race for
just some minimums here.
Yeah, just a minimum, just to try to get alive. And if I do get alive, well, A, that's probably gonna knock out a few people, and B, then I can probably play a second or third horse in the last race.
Yep.
It is fair to say, though, Jackson and Noah, okay, the horse was in for 45, but then was off several months. A trainer switched Delacour, and it is West Point Thoroughbreds, and it's a Jimmy's Creed. So it's not as if the horse didn't have intention to get better. I mean, if the horse jumped from a 55 to an 84, guys, with 3 weeks between and sort of out of nowhere, but there was a break here. There was a jockey, there was a trainer change. He was only 3. I mean, I can see where that's possible in this scenario.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of in my blood to have some reservations when you see something like that, because, regardless of whether it's a trainer switch or not, he had proven form from the 50s to 60s buyer range. And when he pops something like that, obviously going to be a little skeptical. You
mentioned we got 9 minutes to post here as I'm serious multitasking. Thanks for joining. Let me just go full screen with everyone. Howard Kravitz, Noah Maher, Jackson Muniz will reset the show. Weekend Warriors here on the HHH Racing Podcast. There are 2 more races left in the TWINSPIRES contest for a KDBC seat. Here it is as it stands right now on the screen. Nick Severs barely hanging out, 9:45. Joseph Carnival, 9:15. Our good friend and co-host, Jackson Muniz, who also has a race at the fairgrounds named after him in March, at 8:28. Douglas Otani in 4th, 8:05. Some dude named Howard Kravitz is right behind in 5th. Our good friend Brad Anderson. And then there is a little bit of a drop-off. Again, Jackson, we got to believe a lot of these people are probably alive to doubles, including yours truly, into this race.
Yeah, probably at least a couple. I don't know if there's, more than 5 of them that are, but given the way this leaderboard was shaken up before that most recent race, I think a lot of people are going to be relatively conservative. And now that they're seeing, the pack start to separate a little bit, now we're going to see people start to play because they kind of have to play. There's only 2 races left. You got to meet all your minimums. You still have to make sure you're betting all your bankroll. this is it. It's getting down to it. And this is a race where, for a lot of people, you can probably feel like you can narrow it down to one or two horses with these two big favorites.
Yeah, including you, my friend. You're going to have to play also. I'm also looking at keep my eye on Gulfstream. Plenty of time there. We got about 7 minutes to Tampa. Since you are entering the 6 and 7, I believe you said, correct? In this race?
Always.
Why don't we talk about these two? Maybe you can win some money for some people at home there, Jackson. Let's talk about the number 6. These are not live odds right now. I need to refresh here. Let me just do that. Why don't you talk about the 6 first? Who is it Doratorio? I didn't look that quickly.
Something like that,
yeah, Doroteo, 30-1. Wow. For Quinones, what is it you like about this one?
He just feels like another horse, much like the last race that I thought we couldn't get a price on, that he might have some 30-up form that you can be a little forgiving of, because he's just not a 2-turn horse. We've seen that up to this point. They made grass. They tried. He was no good. They ran the Parks race sprinting. It was a sloppy track. It was also a muddy track. It's also Parks. I mean, just weird things happen there. I'm always going to be forgiving of a horse that doesn't maybe run their best race over at Parks. But you look what he did at sprinting his other races. They actually debuted him in a stake race at Fairgrounds, and he actually ran really well in there to finish behind Tough Catch. I mean, he got an 80 buyer as a 2-year-old. That's a pretty strong number. And assuming he's taken some kind of step forward from age 2 to age 4, I don't think it's unreasonable to think he's capable of running high 80s, maybe even 90 buyer if he's still the same horse. His other sprint race was also going 6 furlongs, and he won it at Horseshoe Indy, closing into a slow pace. So I think he has races to be encouraged about. And I do think he has the right style, assuming you're of the belief that the 9 and the 10 are just going to go at each other.
So from a pace flow perspective, I actually think the 10 is quicker than the 9, Noah. I mean, the 10 is going to gun, and the 9 is going to sort of just go out of there and sit off a little bit if he can. I mean, we've seen crazy stuff in this game. And even though you guys are in your 20s, you've seen enough in horse racing to know that crazy blank stuff happens every single day. If the jocks of the 9 to 10, Cipriano, Gill, and Rajiv, if they hook it up early, and go crazy, that would just be the stupidest thing ever. Just because they're compromising their chances. And if you're that good, you would think either one of them could at least, I'm not saying sit off 4 lengths, no, but I mean, sit on the flank or a length off. You don't even head to head 21-4, 44-3, like it's the Pasco or something. I mean, so I guess they could go crazy, but I don't expect that to happen, Noah.
Well, it kind of seems like the most likely scenario of both of those two losing would be if that were to happen, right? So
I agree.
If you're looking for alternatives, you would probably go to the direction of some horses that are really going to be coming from off of it if things were to fall apart. And the horse that you've got on the screen right now is certainly one of them. You could make some excuses for some of his prior races. The race at Keeneland, he was on the lead. It was completely suicidal. And then the race at Churchill in November, that was Claiming Crown Day. So that feels a little better than maybe the level suggests. He was claimed 2 back. And then his last race, I know the figures were coded red, at least on the time form side of things, but there wasn't really a ton of movement in that race. I know the leader went wire to wire. I think the second place finisher was pretty much second or third throughout. So things up front seemed to hold together. And that day, I was kind of surprised that they listed that track as fast, because if you watch the replay, there's a lot of rain that day and the inside was not good. And he broke from the inside that day. It was inside the entire way and closed pretty well. And he gets the likes of Camacho, which obviously if you get Camacho here at Tampa, he's going to give you a good shot. And Gallegos is very capable too. So if you want someone coming from off of it, I think you have to look in the direction of some horses that really come from off of it. And I think the 7's one of them.
Jackson, this is one of these very weird situations that you and I have talked about a lot, along with Noah and Matt, where you figure 90% of the people in this contest need the 9 or 10 here. And I actually need one of them in a double. I'll just leave it at that. But again, in a weird way, if both of them lose, I think I'd be okay with that. We both would, I think, because we're both already pretty high on the leaderboard, and it's going to take away a lot of people out of it. So you're doing the reverse blocker, right? You're the 6 and 7 you're using. I'm sitting on one entry. So the one entry that I have a double live to, I don't have any money left officially on that. And, I went all in. So I don't have anything to bet on that entry, but I don't need to. It's not going to get me to the number I need at the end of the contest, but it'll lead me to something nice. And then the other entry, I have to play a minimum, and I am playing a minimum in Exacta. So I'll just leave it at that. But
Yeah,
so I'm really, I need the 9 or 10, but not especially. It's a weird situation, right?
Yeah, and we've talked about this with Matt a lot too. From what we've seen, generally speaking, about these tournaments, is a lot of people don't like to play all in doubles into the last two races. They don't like tying up their money in here. So I wonder, how many people are actually on the 9 and the 10, at least going into the next race. I'm not going to be surprised if there are people that are alive right now, such as yourself. But it's going to be interesting to see. And the 4 to 5 and the 9, I think, is really low price right now.
Well, look, let's say someone has $500. I'm just throwing a number out there. Like they're not in they're what's wrong with the $500 win bet on the 9 if you love the 9?
I mean, they'll put you in first right now.
Absolutely nothing, right? Or on the 10. So this is really going to be fascinating here. We'll see what happens. The sound is not on.
Actually,
I did that purposely.
Howard, I think you bring up a really good point. The fact that these leaderboards.
I brought up a good point?
You do. The fact the fact that these the leader's at what? Hit a 2-to-1 shot. He's at $900. The fact that it's that low right now, I would be surprised if we're seeing a ton of doubles, at least big doubles going into the last race. I think people are going to be a little bit more conservative, see where they're shaking, see where they're at in the standings after heading in the last race, and make a play that puts them into the top three.
No, of the 9 or the 10 based on the odds, which of course you have to base on the odds. We're playing a pari-mutuel game. If you had to play a win bet, I said, Noah, here's $100. You have to play a win bet. Who would you make it on? I guess you'd say the 10 because he's a bigger odds, but what's the smarter bet, I guess?
I think it would probably be the 10, who I guess at this point in time you could make the argument is kind of the proven commodity as he actually clicks down to 5 to 2 as I say that. But I think the fact that he is potentially faster than the 9 and he's drawn outside of the 9 could make things tough on the 9. And if he's able to clear, obviously that's going to give him his best shot at winning. The
exactas, and I'm sure people are playing the contest, maybe you at home, the 9-10 exacta as of this very moment is actually no, I was looking at doubles. I'm like, there's no way. The 9-10 is 7 for $1, and the 10-9 is 9 for $1. Those are also playable, whether it's, I'm not saying all in, but those are playable as well. So we'll go ahead and put the sign on with Jason Beam. This is the penultimate race of the KDBC contest at Tampa. Is it going to be Disruptor, or is it going to be a little Thunder? Right next to each other, the break is going to be huge here. Oral Jackson and one of his 2 horses, Swaggish or Doroteo at 31-1, shocked the world. Let's see what happens here. Jason Beam on the call, live on the HHH Racing Podcast from Tampa Bay Downs.
Favorites gone in. Jade's J is next. Little Thunder. The final 2 are going to be Just Relax and Homer Jones. Will be all set for a start here in today's 8th race.
I think Aaron Rodgers owns Just Relax, guys, I heard.
Forget the Grade 3 Endeavors coming
No?
up next.
Okay.
Little Thunder's not quite in. The wind has really picked up here in the last 20 or 30 minutes or so. It's a headwind for the runners going down the backstretch, and then a tailwind when they're coming home.
So in theory, that could help closers in theory. Not like a ton, but
to gate 10 right now.
Something to think about.
Clear second.
I like that.
Only in 1-turn races, by the way. It doesn't obviously
beyond the 9 and 10.
2-turn races. The wind is it's you get both of it. So okay, there you go. So we should see slower first quarters, guys. Now,
Thunder now in,
but don't let that
Homer
dissuade
Jones
you.
To the outside.
Good luck, everyone.
Homer Jones going in. They're in the gate, and the race is on. Disruptor away a little bit slowly there. Good start for Just Relax, who goes out to the early advantage. Vinsanity, Little Thunder is close up early on, along with Homer Jones out wide, and P4 down to the inside. Those are the top 5, and they're only separated by a length here in the early going. Doroteo was away in 6th. Jade's Jade, that one's inside 7th. Empire Sky advances on the inside 8th. Disruptor starting to move up in 9th, only about 5 or 6 off the top. After that comes Swaggish. It's 2 more then. Back to Air Invasion, who's the trailer, but the 11 of them only separated by about 8 lengths. They go up the backstretch. They sort themselves out up top, 22.65, and that's right into the teeth of this potent wind. Vinsanity, 3/4 of a length in front. of Little Thunder, who's well positioned on the outside in second. Disruptor is now up to third, so the favorites are second and third here as they're going into the turn past the 3/8. Doroteo's back in fourth. Pushed along there is Homer Jones in fifth. Down at the inside, P4. Starting to launch from the back is Air Invasion, who's out about 4 wide, is running into the 5th spot right now and is gaining on these leaders. Little Thunder makes the front now. Down on the inside, Vinsanity. Out wide, Disruptor. So the favorites coming up to the lead now as they come around to the top of the lane. Little Thunder, Disruptor. Battling on is Vinsanity behind horses. Air Invasion continues that prolonged big down the outside, but Disruptor and Rajiv Mirage hit the front. Little Thunder battling on from second at late run from Swaggish down the outside. Disruptor going to go on to win it here at 4-5. Won it by 3 going away in the end. Little Thunder ran well in the second spot. After that was Empire Sky and Swaggish.
Disruptor 122-4 without breaking well. Look at the gallop out by the 1, by the way. The Little Thunder ran very well. They both ran well. That wasn't like blow me away. But if Disruptor stays healthy, guys, how about a little Disruptor Knightsbridge Met Mile action? What do you say, guys?
I'm in. Sign me up. Sign me up. No,
Wouldn't Knightsbridge smoke him?
Maybe.
Not if Disruptor stays healthy, but we'll never know. I don't know. Just having some fun. Nice horse, Noah, if he can stay healthy, obviously, for Rapoli.
Yeah, he didn't break it all, like you said. So when you saw that, obviously, if you had a sizable bet on him, you didn't love your chances. But, Mirage got him out in the clear and was moving pretty well around the far turn. And then once he kind of hit the lead at the top of the stretch, he was looking pretty good then. So, congrats to anyone if you had him. And we'll see how things shape up going to the last race.
Well, we're going to see some movement now. There's no doubt about it. That Exacta, by the way, which I did not play. I mean, you can always second guess yourself. I don't do that. You'll go crazy as you see. Disruptor was 4-5, Little Thunder 2-1. So those odds also came together. The 10-9 Exacta it probably went down, I'm assuming, after look, paid $6 for $1, guys. Nothing wrong with that at all, right? Okay. And the double was, what was the double, Jackson? The will pay double? 3.3 for $1 is what it ended up being.
Yeah, 2-1-ish.
Yes, right. 2.3 to 1. Actually, no, it's 680. Yeah. So it actually was 680. So 2.4 to 1, technically.
Yeah, I think the Exacta paid $4, Howard. I saw 4.
Okay. Oh, they already sent it out there. I was just looking at the probables.
It was $4.60 for $1.
Okay, so they didn't. Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the 10-9. My apologies. Yes, it was 4 for $1. Okay. Well, it went out there. So okay, guys, we got to go right to the leaderboard, right? Because things are going to get, I'm sure, very interesting. That was good for me, but I'm still going to have to hit something in the last race. But that was good for me. You're going to see why here. Oh, someone went crazy. That's what that means, I'm guessing. All right, well, let's see what happened here. I'm sure someone went nuts.
Someone did.
Let's see what happened here. What, someone at 2,000 or some nonsense, probably? Let's see here. Oh my! Wait, is that is through the last race, right? That just happened.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh boy! Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at the leaderboard right now. Brought to you by our good friends at TWINSPIRES. 1 race left in the contest. Can a miracle happen? Well, Howard Kravitz has the lead at 980. You can see I had basically all in. I Dutched it, guys, but basically all in. I had close to a $300 Exacta, 3.9. Thank you, Quattro Centro and Disruptor. And that got me to the lead, which I actually am shocked, to be very honest with you. And then I also, there's Jackson in a good spot there in 4th. And here's my other entry that I just played. I'll show you what I did, guys. I just played a 10-9 Exacta in case my 9 didn't. So my thought there, guys, is if the 9 got upset by the 10, I'd get about 300 on that entry. So either way, I was trying to get to close to 1,000 on either entry. Was my thought there. So that's why, and I needed a minimum. I had to play a minimum also. So
Howard, you have a very interesting dilemma right now.
I sure do. Well, that's all for me, guys. Noah's going to take over the rest of the next half an hour now.
You could realistically go after 2 seats. It is not out of the
Well,
question.
I already have. Well, I have one, but what you
can-
still get 5,000. I don't know. I'll
you
talk
can
to.
sell
Well,
it.
you know, Jackson, right? From Matt, what
You
happens? They
can
just
sell
credit
it.
you 5,000 or something,
You can-
basically.
Yep. I'm
Huh.
not saying you have to. It depends on your opinions, of course, but you could.
Well, you know what this actually
Right?
brings
Let's
up
double check. I don't think there's anything in the rules that says you can't win 2 seats.
No, I'm sure you can.
Yeah, I've done it in the smaller ones. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to do it in this big one.
I will say there's one that comes to mind right. Well, first of all, I'll just be happy with one. Let's not get there's a ton of other people in this.
No,
I'm gonna need some
of
luck.
course.
I'm gonna need some luck, and I need to hit the last race to win. So actually, we got Gulfstream, guys. We got plenty of time. Let's go to Gulfstream because this is a very interesting race.
Hey, sorry, Howard. Look who showed up in the chat.
Who? What in the back? Oh, in the chat. Sorry, hold on.
Tell him, Brad. Tell.
Brad.
What do we got? Oh, Brad. This one right here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Come on, Brad. Bring it on, my friend. All right, guys. Let's get to Gulfstream here before we miss the race. You want to set it up, Noah? It's a nice allowance race. It's the part of the Turf Pick 3 and the first leg of the Coast to Coast, I think,
shoot.
guys.
Yeah, it is. Sorry, my bad. I'm good.
Noah, did you look at this race right now? The 2, Tell Bingo. Again, race 9 at Gulfstream. We'll get back to the contest in just a few minutes, everyone. Actually, they're circling right now, so we have more time.
Yeah.
Tell Bingo is 5-2. Mary's Lad, who I thought would be the favorite, 3-1. Multiverse is a horse we talked about a lot on the show. Never been on turf. 9-2. I don't get this horse at all. I wouldn't touch this horse with a 7, 8, 9, or a 10 foot pole for that matter. Ever Dangerous could be that at 7-1. Interesting. A horse that's taking no money that I have no idea why the horse is not taking money that I actually like, guys, is number 11, Sagan Viendo, Jorge Ruiz. If it heats up a little bit, Noah, and the 11 can sit a trip, I don't think the 11's out of this at all, and he's 23-1. Thoughts as they are going to be approaching the gate here in just a minute.
Yeah, well, from a pace scenario perspective, it kind of seems like the 8's going to go, and then we'll figure out how horses will kind of suit themselves from there. I was kind of looking at someone that would, kind of be right behind the 8, kind of sitting that stalking trip and be able to kind of get first run on some of the closers. And I'm kind of with the public here. Tall Bingo seems like a horse that's going to be right in that coveted pocket trip with Saez. Saez is going to be close. And this is interesting because Brian Lynch owns and trains this gelding by Classic Empire. So he's been on the Tapeta a couple of times. They've tried to get him on the turf, hasn't worked out. But if he gets over to the turf, his one turf that I did watch looked pretty good. He just looks like he's got long legs. He's got a big stride. So he just looks like the turf's going to suit him well.
Wow. How's his wingspan, his wingspan?
I've heard Miguel Clement talk about, there's a word for it where it's like not reach, but the distance from one reach to the other, you know what I'm talking
with
about?
Their legs, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, they can measure that. That's actually measured at the sales. They actually measure that. They have metrics for that.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'll put the sound up here.
A bit longer comeback try for
with the sound here.
Miguel Vasquez rides.
Hey,
I believe on the show, I had said 4, 11, 8, 2 in order. 4, 11, 8, 2 is what I liked on the show. Go ahead, Jackson.
Anthony Thomas riding.
Jackson, do you need the $10 win ladder thing?
Oh, what does he need?
No, I played the 2.
Oh, okay, good. Okay. I was going to tell you to bet.
All right, guys, we got hundreds of people watching. Thanks for watching. We're live here, Weekend Warriors, race 9.
Your first racing coast to coast pick 5.
Audio at Gulfstream, Pete Aiello. First leg of the coast to coast. You guys play the coast to coast today?
My single scratch, so no.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't play.
Okay, I did because we sponsor it. So, and I love the bet anyway. So there you go. Thank you. I'm 2-4-11. Full disclosure here in this race to start, and a backup with 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, but if 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 wins, I'm not going to hit this pick 5 most likely because I'm very thin afterwards. So I would like to see the 11, Noah. That would be, and if I had time, I'd do a little reverse tri-key action, but I don't. So I'll just sit this out and watch. But
Both
The
in-
11,
More Sagan Viendo to take the outside.
I'd say starting a coast to coast and having an in turf pick 3 of
Eight pick
25 to
pool
1,
is now
Noah.
over $500,000.
That'd be pretty
Good
nice.
luck if you're involved in
That'd
the
be great.
four and with
Will
all
that-
wagers
will
here
that step up?
I actually might have you host a little bit, Noah, because I have some serious decisions to make.
Viendo. And the lead
Yeah, I can do that.
I know.
set.
Here we go.
There, off and running. Good start out wide for front end, who heads off for the front end and leads by a neck early on from the man up front. He's away in second. At the rail, Talbingo is now third. From Ever Dangerous is in early fourth. Last a bit longer, comes away fifth, while 3 wide. Then Mary's Lad and Multiverse. A length and a half to Pierre. He rides the rail.
Oh.
Unseating the rider was Multiverse.
That's Junior.
Multiverse took an awkward step and unseated the jockey.
That was Junior, right?
Yeah.
They round the first turn. The leader is
Oh,
front
my
end
God.
by 2.5. The man up front is second. Talbingo races.
So it looked like
third,
he
Ever
got
Dangerous
stepped
fourth.
on a little
Last
bit too, didn't
longer
it?
is Keen while
Mhm.
racing fifth.
Man.
Mary's Lad at the rail sixth. Back to seventh. That's Pierre, a length in front of a rail running Profound. Out the back here, Sagan Viendo. They make their way to the final half mile. 22-2 for the opening quarter. Anthony Thomas in front end on a mission here, and a 46-2 half mile. They lead to the far turn by a length and a half. Talbingo is second. At the outside, it's the man up front into third from Ever Dangerous, and Mary's Lad creeping closer. Mary's Lad's had a good run. Going to follow Talbingo through and hope to angle to the outside of front end. Then back between, it's Pierre. Outside last a bit longer, moving out the rail Profound. They stack, they pack, they turn for home. Talbingo has the lead. Gaffleon gets off the inside with Mary's Lad floating out Ever Dangerous. Front end between horses. 1/8 of a mile to go. Talbingo has the lead by 2.5. Ever Dangerous charging hard into second, but Talbingo has fled the scene at 6-5. Talbingo for
6 to
Brian
5.
Lynch. There.
Yeah,
Wow. Front. Good battle here for second. It goes to Ever Dangerous, just second ahead of Pierre third, then Mary's Lad fourth in 1:33-3.
Well, the story here, and if we get any, if anyone has any information, because I can't have the sound on, and we're gonna be talking about Tampa. If anyone has any information at all on from the TVG broadcast, or sorry, from the FanDuel broadcast, or anyone there on Junior, let's just praise. Okay, guys. I didn't see what happened. I just saw him fall, and then the 11. I got to be honest, guys. The jock didn't exactly swerve to try to avoid the. Maybe he didn't see Junior on the ground, guys, but it looked like Junior might have gotten clipped. I don't want to, say anything in this case, guys, but let's just hope Junior's okay. Meanwhile, Talbingo wins like a 6-5 shot should.
It was just unfortunate because it looked like, was it Ruiz on the 11 kind of tried to steer clear, but that was kind of the direction that Junior was moving. And, it sucks when stuff happens like that, especially Junior, who's, been on a tear, not to mention who's a good friend of the pod. So if anything comes to fruition and people hear anything either on the FanDuel feed or somewhere else, please let us know.
Yeah, look, it not only is Junior is up and moving according to Ed Burke. Thank goodness for that. Thank you, Ed. If you're going to put comments in the chat like Ed did, please make sure you're like 100% positive. Please don't speculate about something like this. That's the last thing that we want to do here, guys. Not only is Junior a great rider, he's a friend of the show. He's a close friend of Paul Halloran. I've met him several times. He's a great guy. Let's forget about the damn race. It's Jackson. It's such a dangerous game. It looks like we're not going to destroy the head on. Did you guys see what happened? What initiated the fall?
I didn't know.
I missed the race, so I didn't see.
Okay. Well, Jackson, the Multiverse, the 5, first time turf with Junior riding. They're showing. We're not going to see what happened, but on the I don't know, 10 seconds of the race, Noah. Before they hit the turn, Jackson, like way before they hit the turn, he might have clipped heels or something happened. He fell, and then there was a horse. 11 was a good 3 lengths behind him, Noah, and the jock tried to avoid not running over Junior or running into Junior, but he looked like he might have clipped Junior with the horse's feet. So it wasn't like the 11 who clipped him went on with it. So maybe it's not as bad as we think, Noah. And apparently Junior is up. Thank goodness. So
yeah.
Anyway,
so David Greining tweeted that he's up and walking with assistance. So that's good.
All right.
Okay, that's the last thing we need on this show live is anything horrific. So thank goodness he's gonna be okay. It looks like Junior's gonna be all right. Talbingo, nice call by a few people actually on our show this week. I didn't I never thought this horse would be 6-5. Mary's Lad, by the way, perfect trip, guys. No excuses. Okay, let's get back to the contest. That's why we're here for the most part. All right.
Big breaking news as far as the contest goes that Emily just tweeted. Nick, so I was actually doing the spaces with Nick and Emily earlier, and I think Nick's power went out maybe because it crashed, and he missed his minimums. So Nick is going to be disqualified, and he's in second. I'm not sure exactly what happened. That's kind of what I assumed happened because that's
brutal for him. We're like 100% positive about that, or you can look at it.
Yeah, he's only made.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it.
Disqualified.
Oh, that really. I'm sorry, Nick. If his power's out, he can't hear this.
I'm hoping everything's okay. Obviously, we don't. I'm
course,
speculating what happened. Just because the spaces crashed at the same time.
Then people have absolutely nothing to worry about. This knucklehead in first right now for sure, and someone who's in second who's going to be DQ'd. So. Okay, that's interesting. And all of a sudden, I have to bet. I'm sorry, Jackson. Go ahead.
I said all of a sudden I'm the third place target that everyone's gunning for. So look at that.
Right. So top three. Top three. I'm gonna let Noah and Jackson. If you got to do some stuff too. I mean, Noah can go solo if he absolutely has to. Yeah. Let me talk about the odds first of all in this last race, and then we might just have Noah do some hosting here. Guys, I'm not surprised, and I don't really want to give away a lot because there's a lot on the line right here, but I am hosting. We are doing the show. I understand Al Jafar 2-1. It's a horrible bet. I'll just say it right now, 2-1 now. Horrible. I was with you last year. This was on Grade 1 Gamble Day, actually, last year when Al Jafar won. And actually, I needed him to get to a spot to almost win the Grade 1 Gamble. And then some knucklehead horse called Gosker beat me, and I should have used him, and I didn't in the Lexington. I'll never forget that day. It was one of the contest days I regret the most of 2025, guys. But I pounded Al Jafara and got like close up to the leaderboard. That was a big score for me. I don't like her nearly as much today. You don't have control of.
I threw my.
You go to the windows. You can't control my windows, right? But you can bring it up if you want it also, correct?
Yeah, so take Brad's advice and go ahead and do what you need to do. I've got the PPs up so I can share them as I need.
All right.
So.
And Jackson, same with you. I don't, obviously you got to. I know what the horse I want to do, but I got some serious thinking. So I'm actually going to take myself off screen respectfully. That's why we got great people like Noah to host. Jackson, do what you have to do. Also, are you privy to the PPs here, Noah, or did you bring up your own right now? Looks like you did, right?
Yeah, I can.
So I'm going to remove mine. So I just removed mine. So all right. Noah's going to be in control. Do me a favor and show the leaderboard every few minutes as well.
Yep.
When that's necessary. And thanks, Brad. I appreciate that. I'll just flat out say I don't like Al Jafar to win. I'm just going to leave it at that. Noah, it's all yours. Go ahead, my friend.
All right, Jackson. Should we start the conversation with Al Jafara, or where do we want to go?
I do not. I'm with Howard. I don't understand the money for her at all. And if you go back and watch the replay, one, the pace collapsed, and two, there was a point in the turn where like one horse blew the turn until got like three horses with her. Like she beat nothing that day. Look at what she beat. Look what the number came back. You look what happened in that race. She hasn't been seen since. And now she shows up in the stakes race and she's going to be favored. I mean, she makes so little sense to me on paper that I may just bet her because I don't understand it. It's like Water Barrio all over again. Like, why is she taking this much money? It makes zero sense.
Yeah, I don't get it, frankly. And our good buddy Charlie likes her a lot. So good luck to Charlie. I'm not sure he's loving the 2-1 right now. But like you said, I mean, if she's going to be 2-1 with all the red flags, then, maybe there's something that we're missing here. But I agree. I mean, wasn't she supposed to be running in a race at Saratoga over the summer, and they ended up scratching, and then she hasn't been seen since. Now I know the work tab would make it seem like she's been on the tab for a while, and maybe she's ready, but 2-1's just awfully low. I mean, I would take some others. The 5 is one. I know you're a fan of her, and obviously she's got good form. You can completely toss the last race where she completely blew the turn, and obviously has form to go back to. And another one that's going to be, right up there up front, close to the pace at least. I mean, she's going to have a tactical advantage, it would seem.
Yeah, and I've said it on 3 shows now, so I might as well keep saying it here. It doesn't matter what everyone's gonna know. If the 5 wins, I'm gonna be in the top 3. It's as simple as that. I'm gonna be over betting it. My dilemma right now is, do I bet her, because I have enough money to bet her to win and do other things? Do I bet her in second with a bunch of horses on top, or do I just bet her with other horses to win and Dutch that? So that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out at this point. I feel like there's too many players left, too many smart people with money, and I'm not safe where I'm at. So there's no way that 798 is going to hold up. So definitely need to be playing here.
Would you like some recommendations as to who I would put in first?
Please go through the field. Yes.
Well, Candy Quest would be the first alternative for me. You look at her last 2 races, on 2 separate occasions, she was a half a length and basically an inch from Fionn, who outside of Nitrogen was probably the best 3-year-old turf filly, at least routing side of things, all of last year. So, I mean, she's pretty good, and you can make a case that she ran better than she did in the Dueling Ground Oaks at Kentucky Downs, where they went a mile and 5/16, and she broke from post 12. I mean, talk about getting hung out wide. I mean, if you're ever going to get hung out wide in a post position at a track, I mean, it's going to be those circumstances right there.
Right.
And then the QE2, I mean, that's just a little better than what she's going to be facing today. And like I said, she was only, a nose, a couple inches behind Fionn in that race. Now she's had some time off. Cassie, obviously very capable. He sent some good runners, especially down in the turf, down to Tampa Bay. And I know you guys have had some interesting conversations with Jason Beam about the turf course, especially with the shoot. And it kind of seems like the recurring theme is inside position is always going to be good with that little shoot and just getting into that spot, that coveted pocket trip that we kind of saw with Talbingo. I think she's capable of doing that. And if they fly up front, she's also capable from coming from off of it.
Yeah, she's the closer I would fear for sure. And I believe she was entering the Pegasus Philly Turf last week, if I'm not mistaken. I think she was on the AE. I probably should look that up. But I like your point. Like, she was right there with Fionn. What would Fionn be in this field? I think she'd be a pretty clear, probably favorite, right?
Yeah.
So I just worry with her was, does she get the pace in here? Because she's gonna be dropping way out the back.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and throw that over there so we can take a little look at the leaderboard. Let me get that a little bit closer so people can.
And look, there's a few people that still have 2 entries, I think. I know Howard obviously does, and Howard's in first and fourth technically.
Yeah.
I know, did Brad lose his second entry? I don't recall. He did. So he only has 1. Robert Dolan still has 2. Plenty of ammo to fire there. Lawrence still has 2. He's got $600 combined in those 2 entries. I mean, there's a lot of people that have. Edward D, who's a very, very good player, still has 2. If this result is formful at all, you're going to see some significant movement, and I have very little doubt about that. If it blows up, then maybe Howard's first entry is safe potentially, but I don't know. Did you think this race had potential for a big price?
I don't know. I would lean formful.
Yeah.
Some of the horses that we talked about, like the 1 and the 5, I could see getting the job done. But that's the problem, right? Just with such a compact leaderboard and not a ton of people that have hit all that high as of now, it's just going to be so interesting as to what to target, because people are going to be firing, but you don't know what they're going to be targeting, obviously. So it's interesting. It's quite a doozy.
The easy answer is $1,000. That's the target for the top 3. And if it happens to not be good enough and you end up 4th or 5th, well, hopefully 4th, then that would suck. But I think if you get to 1,000, you're probably okay for 4th. I don't know. I might want to bump personally. I might be bumping that up a little bit just to play it safe. I just hate leaving the putt short. And again, I feel like there's a lot of people that have a lot of ammo still in a race where the board is pretty wide open, where people can be dutching all kinds of logical things and only need to double up, and they're going to be well above $1,000. So it's going to be curious to see how it plays out for sure. I'm struggling to pick a number right now, to be honest.
Yeah. And another thing is you're going to have to figure out what, say, if you were to, like, if you like the 5, if you're playing the 5 on the win end, if you're trying to, figure out some exactas, you got to make sure that those exactas will get to that number, if not more, because we saw with some of the races before, Quattrocento got crushed, and those exactas with the 7 and the 6 got hit pretty good, and they were actually even when they broke from the gate. and some other races too, where the 9/10 was only, you know, $4 and change. So if you're going to do that and try to back yourself up a little bit, you got to make sure that that backup is going to get to where you think you need to be.
Right. Agreed.
So we've got, how long do we got? We've got 3 minutes. I think what will happen is Howard will probably be on in enough time to be able to get the feed up. So I don't think I have to worry about that.
No, you don't.
Okay, perfect.
You can take yours off if you want, Noah, and I'll bring mine back on here. I hope everyone understands at home. Obviously, I can't say what I'm doing here, obviously. I will just say in general, I agree with you guys. You'll have to pick a number where you think you're going to, you know, get in the top 3. Jackson said 1,000. I think that's probably about right. We'll see. And I will just say this. I am surrounding, and we didn't talk about this race at all. I didn't talk about this race with Noah or Jackson at all today. Full disclosure. Or now, obviously. The last thing we're going to do is start breaking rules, which we never do here. I will just say that I'm surrounding my bet around one horse. I'm just going to leave it at that. Whatever I'm doing, this one particular horse has to run well. I'm just going to leave it at that. And if it all falls apart, guys, I'm going to consider this a very successful turn for me. I'm in 1st and 4th going to the last race with 58 people playing. I played exactly the way I wanted to. Will it mean anything after this last race? I have no idea, but I'm proud of what's happened here. But I'm also very nervous because people like Jackson and other really good players are breathing on me. And what would be fascinating, guys, if like some really bizarre finish in this last race, like bomb, like what would that do to the leaderboard, right? Like, because people would say, Howard, maybe you want to sit a little bit with that one entry and hope for chaos. Right? There's a lot of different ways you can play this, guys. If you're me.
And you don't have to say what you're doing, but I know if I was in your situation with the 2, if my goal is probably just to get 1, I'm not making a bet on the one that's in 1st. You just hope for that chaos, because if it is chaos, you're going to win. And then with your 2nd entry, then that's where I would be making my plays. I'd be betting whoever it is I like, whether it's the 1, the 4, the 5, and you Dutch it to pass yourself basically, and see what happens from there.
So what I'll say, like, generally speaking, if what I hope happens, either entry will get me to the number.
Mm-hmm.
So I sort of Dutched it in a way that no matter what, I'm going to get to my number on either entry. So the entry that had less money, and I actually played bigger will pays, right? You guys make sense. Obviously that makes sense to everyone. So we'll see. It's going to be, I'm making one more, I got to do one more bet on the side here, guys, to cover myself here, because there is 1 or 2 horses I'm not using at all that are taking some money in my particular bet I'm making. Jackson, again, you don't have to say what you're doing. And again, it is actually, let's bring up the video. I'm not gonna bring up the sound. It is raining there right now. It doesn't look that bad. Jackson, again, you don't have to say what you're doing, but you obviously feel the need to play something.
Yeah, I'm not safe where I'm at. I'm betting. I'm covering a lot of combos.
Yep.
All kinds of formable stuff. But like I said, if the 5 wins, I think I'll be okay.
Okay, so Jackson likes the 5 a lot. The old DNF line, but if you watch the replay, Jackson, we all know why. Nothing happened injury-wise to the horse. Yeah. There's a horse that got checked in front of him, angled out right into him, and basically forced him into like the 9 path. They just pulled him up. And he's been working, she has been working fine since. Noah, I might have missed it, so I apologize. Is this Chad Brown money, or is Al Jafara that good in your eyes? 2-1, the 4.
Well, I think it's been mentioned on these airwaves that Chad has some really good stats, specifically in the last race. Now, I think it might go to another degree in maiden races, but Chad is pretty good when it comes to these finales on the turf at Tampa. So it could be. I mean, I think she makes sense, but I think we've pointed out enough red flags to make the case that 2-1 is, not a great bet on her.
Good luck to everyone. We're going to go with the sound. The last race, this is it. $5,000 KDB seats on the line. Yours truly is in 1st and 4th in the contest. Jackson's in 3rd. Hopefully one of us, good luck, Jackson, my friend. Hopefully one of us can get what we need here. In the last race, the Endeavor, correct? The Endeavor Stakes, Grade 3 at Tampa Bay Downs, sponsored by TWINSPIRES. Here we go, guys. and ladies?
That favorite role. Aussie Girl, Starship Impulsive.
Should we leave ourselves on screen or take ourselves off screen?
Endeavor.
They're in the gate, so I don't care. I need the 1 of the 5 to win. I also have 4 of our 5, and
I'll say what I did.
The outside draw.
I need the 5 first or second. We're on the same horse, Jackson. Let's get it done.
And the race is on in the Endeavor Stakes. Aljafara and Scythian bumped together a little bit shortly after the start. Dreaming of ABBA away in good order. Starship Impulsive up from the outside is forwardly minded. And Aussie Girl in between.
Don't press me.
Aussie Girl going to get down toward the inside and cut the corner as they come into the stretch.
There you go.
Now almost
Walk
2
the dog.
to Starship Impulsive away in second. Dreaming of ABBA's third. Scythian to the inside.
So do I.
After that comes the Great Love You Anyway, who's racing along fifth. And behind that, Aljafara is in and amongst horses with Candy Quest toward the inside. Going to be a 4 deep trip here for Public Defender. And the 2 at the back early on are Madam Mischief and Charlie's Wish. As the 10 of them go through that first turn, Aussie Girl is the leader. It's Aussie Girl in front 3/4 of a length to a snugly held Starship Impulsive in that second position. Scythian stays down toward the inside with Dreaming of ABBA right to her outside.
Let this horse run a little bit, for God's sake.
Yellow colors about 4.5 off the top after a 24-second opening quarter mile. So they're midway down the back stretch in the Endeavor. Aussie Girl 3/4 of a length. The Starship Impulsive.
I mean, you're either good enough or you're not at this trip.
Dreaming of ABBA going to be 3 deep as they run to that turn. It's a length and a half more. Back to Love
I
You
don't
Anyway,
have the 3 in second. I'm a little worried about that
Those
right now.
3 just separated by a half length, and they're about 3.5 off the top. Madam Mischief tries to sneak through toward the inside, and it's a wide journey for Public Defender as they go to the far turn. Aussie Girl still there, 49.47 seconds. They were into the win there, but Aussie Girl now tries to kick away at the quarter pole. Opens up a length and a half. Dreaming of ABBA on the outside. Scythian down toward the rail. Starship Impulsive.
Come on, 5.
Toward the outside. Aussie Girl cuts the corner, kicks away by 2. Scythian tries to come after her with Dreaming of ABBA. Candy Quest roaring down the far outside. It's still Aussie Girl there with a 16th of a mile to go. Aussie Girl, Scythian, Candy Quest chasing Aussie Girl and Ben Curtis all the way at the
Get the 1 for second.
Candy Quest looked to get up for second over Scythian third. After that was Madam Mischief, Aljafara, and Dreaming of ABBA.
Did you get 2, Howard?
I might have. Oh, my Lord. So, guys, on the entry that had 980, I did Exacta's Dutch 5 with 1,411. On the entry that had 680, I had 200 to win on the 5, and Exacta's 1,411 with 5.
Excellent.
So I'm going to be at about. We'll see. What did the 5-1 pay?
Final time 142.6.
Congrats, by the way, Jack. What do you have, Jackson? You have a win bet?
Finishing around 1,500. I made sure I overbet it. So
I thought you said 1,000 is what you need. You might have beat my ass then. Probably.
I made sure I overbet it.
A 5-1 Exacta was $23.
I mean, Jackson, you're going to be ahead of me, I think. I was shooting for about 1,400 actually. When you said 1,000, you're like, no way. I was thinking to myself. Jackson, by the way, full disclosure, Patrick and Ryan Mastretta are both have a piece of my entry. So,
nice.
I'm trying to think. The lower one, I don't think is going to get there. The one that started with 980, I would think. What did it pay again, Noah?
$23.
Well, hang on, because I have 2 different odds.
For $1? For $1.
5.
Is that right?
Yeah, $23.
Oh,
is that right, Jackson?
I think I just freaking destroyed this thing. I don't know. Well, congratulations to anyone that had it. Again, Aljafara, great call, guys, by all of us. I don't understand it. I understand it, but I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Aussie Girl walked the dog. Who was the rider there, guys?
Ben Curtis. And look, I mean, I don't think any of us expected her to have that kind of easy lead. I thought the 9 and the 10 would at least make her work for it. I'm not really sure what the plan was on those 2 horses, but you had to be feeling pretty good on the backstretch when you saw how easy they were going.
Jackson, I was ecstatic. By the way, no comments from you guys in the contest. I want our reaction to be when we show it.
Okay.
You guys can look it up, but don't say anything, obviously, until I bring it up on screen, please. Will Walden, guys, on fire. I have no idea what the plan was, Jackson, with the outside horses, but thank goodness. Yeah. And Candy Quest actually ran a big race.
She did.
I was very worried about Scythian there for a while. Wow, I don't know what people have. I mean, look.
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know, but all I know is I hit my bets, and Jackson, you hit your bets. All you can do,
yep.
Right?
Yep.
So it's official. So let me Let me do this here, guys. And Noah's got that look like he already knows what happened, but
No,
don't say
I'm hitting that button. I'm trying.
Okay. So we'll see what happened here, guys. You're looking live, hopefully at 2 people who just qualified, hopefully for the KDBC, which is a $5,000 seat. It's official, guys. It is official, ladies and gentlemen. And here it is. Howard Kravitz wins. I won the contest with 2,212. Oh, Jackson, I'm so sorry, man. Jackson with 1560 in fifth. I also finished, by the way, in eighth with 1320. Miracles do happen, ladies and gentlemen. I just got lucky. It was just my day. Sometimes it's just your day, guys. I don't feel like I should say anything because I'll sound really arrogant. So I'm happy I won.
Nice job, Howard.
Thank you.
That's great.
And I'm sure, wild reaction from Noah. That's great.
No, my first reaction is look at these totals compared to what they were. I mean, we throw up 1,000 and 1,000 didn't even get you 10th. I mean, that's crazy how many people hit that race.
So people in the chat, nice Howard. Thank you, everyone. It's my first win on live on Weekend Warriors here. Thank you very much, Brad. Appreciate it. So at the other end, so I'll show whatever. Let me just go down the leaderboard here, guys. We'll end the show in a few minutes. I think Wednesday's leaderboard show, Noah and Jackson, just got a little more interesting at least. But so it's the top 3 seats, right? And then fourth gets how much?
2,100.
Oh, there it is. So fourth. So congratulations to myself, Joseph Carnival, Vincent Patonzo, and Lawrence Bergen. Man, just beat you there, Jackson. You finished with 1560. Brad went down. This one went down because what was this one? Oh, that's because. Oh, actually, I went up in the total, but went down on the leaderboard. That was the one that had 200 to win on the 5. Which would not, I thought that would have gotten me enough, but it didn't actually. I mean, these totals can, and a lot of people, not a lot of people had the 5, Jackson. So you and I, my friend, I know you didn't, get your qualification, but that's a nice day. You started with 600, and you end up with 1560. It's $1,000 cash, my friend. That's a good day.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, like I said, I thought we were talking about 1,000, maybe a little bit more than 1,000. And I went a little higher than that and still got nipped by a few people. So just one of those formful results. And, it's going to happen every now and then too.
I feel a little silly because I completely overshot it. But what I did, Noah and Jackson, actually, we talked about this on the leaderboard a few weeks ago. I think it was with you, where I figured the exactas would go down. So
right.
Therefore, I ended up overshooting it unintentionally. Mm-hmm. I was really shooting for about 1,600. But the 5-1 exact ended up paying more than I thought. Actually, the 5 floated up a little bit, and the 1. I think they both floated up a little bit, and so I ended up. It was only a $60 exacta, guys. But I used 1 for 11. I didn't like the 9 at all. That was the one I put a little saver win bet, and so I finished with 22 plus 13, 35, and then a $5,000 seat. Wow! And also, congratulations to our great friends. Patrick Kunzel, co-host of Ben Boozin, and his great friend and my good friend and our great friend and a new member of the family, Ryan Mistretta. They also have a small piece of those winnings, guys. So really fun day. I'll let you guys wrap it up because I don't last thing I want to do is come off arrogant or anything nefarious. So it's a weird situation for me. I'm just happy that I won. But thoughts on the day overall, guys, at Tampa Bay?
There we go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Great day. It's great to see you win, Howard. Obviously,
Thank you.
You've been chasing that for a while, and you've got a couple now, which is awesome. So hats off to you, and obviously Jackson. It's tough to get there, but always nice to have a good day, and in terms of getting some cash on the wallet. And I think at the end of the day, Matt might be the one that's most happy and proud, just because look at all those names that we know of what. I mean, first, fifth, Brad was in there at 7th. You were in there at 8th. Just super cool to see the family do well in some of these.
Hey, Jackson, I hate to put you on the spot, but since you're on the show, I mean, we got to talk about it. Do you have any regrets? What have you done differently?
I really don't. I'm disappointed. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. But when you look at it from the perspective that I had a target in mind that I felt really good would be good enough to win, and I hit the horses I wanted to, I made the bets I wanted to do, and I hit that target, and it just landed short. And that was something I couldn't really envision happening. So maybe moving forward, reevaluate my target setting. But as far as hitting the target that I wanted to do, no complaints whatsoever.
If I may ask, Jackson, how much money did you sort of leave on the table? In other words, if you didn't,
I bet every dollar.
Oh, you went all in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
So I know he was $70, $80 short, for God's sakes. I mean, so you could have just put more on the win the 5 and less on the exactas, basically, right? Is what you could have done.
And I originally had 350 and I changed it to 300. So that part feels a little, but I still wouldn't have been third. I would have been fourth. But again, I made the right move because the odds moved. I changed it to bet the 1, and the odds did drop on the 1. So in that sense, it was the right play. It was only the target that was incorrect.
Yeah, it's such a tough game. But anyway, Jackson, great job. And you know what I'm really proud of Noah the most is that in the biggest moment of the day, Jackson and I, you know this, and Jackson knows this, we didn't talk at all about this race from a handicapping perspective. We both land on the same horse, Jackson, and the horse wins at 4-1. So we can give ourselves a pat on the back for that. And again, ladies and gentlemen, if we would have talked about it more, or I would have, but I mean, I couldn't say I'm betting the 5. You actually can't do that in this situation when I was in. So anyway, hope there's no hard feelings out there in tourney land and people are watching. Great job, everyone. Really appreciate it. I appreciate all the compliments. Just sometimes the sun shines on a dog's butt once in a while, and today was just my day. But Noah and Jackson, really appreciate you guys coming on as usual. We got our show on Wednesday, the leaderboard, which we'll talk about. I got to talk about my win. I don't. I mean, we'll do it very quickly. But it is a proud moment for me, and that's 2 KDB seats now, guys, on Derby Day. I don't have full 100% of both of them, but that's going to make that day definitely more interesting. So as I'm trying to set up the close here, guys, for my great friends and excellent contest players and co-hosts, Noah Maher, Jackson Muniz, this has been your host, Howard Crabb. It's a very entertaining and exciting, memorable Weekend Warrior episode 23. Good luck and crush your bets in any other TWINSPIRES contest or the rest of the day. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
If you have not followed his Triple H horse racing podcast, you're missing out. It's one of the best podcasts in the country.